Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Greetings, Algo Artisans, 8:30 a.m. almost. It's actually 8:29. I started just a hair early. I wanted to see what would happen when this data came out. We've got the unemployment claims in about 20 seconds. Later, we have at 10 a.m. EST some manufacturing data, no, services data, PMI data. So let's go to the charts. We'll go to low time frame and look at the euro because that's probably where we're going to see the effect most. Very quiet night overnight. There it is. Nice pop-up. So this was dollar week news. Now, why did I predict dollar week news? Well, first of all, let's confirm that it's dollar week. We just had a minor pop-up on the 5-minute chart. So let's go here and see what the data says. It says pending. We got to hold off. Okay. Unemployment claims still pending. So the unimportant stuff comes out right away. Very cute. Let me go ahead and refresh. Just looking at a different screen, and it does look like the data completely pulled back. We'll come back to, okay, there we go. Okay, we'll come back. It's given us the most important data last, of course. Not much action. It's either going to be just a nothing burger, or maybe no one has seen the data yet. Maybe it's still pending for everybody else, including myself. But this is actually, just from the look of it, dollar strong so far because the euro is going down. Now we'll look at a few other things. We'll look at Bitcoin and a few other items just to see if that's all jiving. But as of now, there's no, okay, there we go. So looks like it was a slight uptick in unemployment. So this technically is dollar week news. It should push price up a bit, but it's such a weak, it isn't very far from the expectation. 230,000 versus 237,000 unemployment claims just seems almost like a nothing burger. So it's probably going to be business as usual today, right? Not a big take either way, but I do like to start sometimes a little bit early and see what's going to happen with the price. And as it stands, going back to midnight or so, at least on the euro, price was just ranging, just a very, and this is the 5-minute chart. This is a pretty low time frame. And excuse me, still fighting a little bit of a cold. It got a little bit of nasality or sniffles. It is what it is. But as it stands right now, the lower bound is about 116.39, upper bound 116.61, and it might be that the news that comes out at 8 o'clock, the PMI, might be the bigger news. I know it was a significant effect on the market as of Tuesday when the manufacturing data came out, right? So, but right now it does look like price wants to push downwards, and it might be because perhaps the algos were already bearish and it was kind of a nothing burger data announcement, and so price is just going to continue in the direction where it was going to go anyway. So we might see price break a little bit downward, and that's the euro. And I think the euro high time frame might be ready to roll over. It keeps on a very high time frame rolling over, just keeps hitting the top of this range, heading down. We'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at gold. I know that's what the headline was about. Now this is on the daily chart, and you can see that gold made a breakout, and then it came back down to retest its high right here at 3,500. So you see how this candle came back, didn't quite touch it though. We didn't get a true retest, but we may never see one. You know, it may just simply stop there, head up. I don't know about that. There is still some time, at least on this chart, for gold to maybe kind of catch its breath a little bit. We'll see. It wouldn't surprise me over the next like week, several days, for gold to sort of pull one of these like this and then maybe head up after that. We'll see. This was a big move up, guys, going from what is this, August 20th to September the 3rd. This was a move from 3,300 to 3,500, and that's effectively, I don't know, 7 or 8%. That's huge. I mean, that's like, for gold, that's massive. That is an 8% move. So it looks like the ability to do math in my head still exists to some degree. Now, will gold, I think it will. I think gold will go sideways and then probably go up. It's on fire, and the world knows what I think is coming. And I think we will see either shortly before the end of the year or shortly after the end of the year, we'll probably see $4,000 gold unless we have some kind of event. I mean, look, okay, so gold moved 8% in like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, right? Going back to August 20th. Well, how far away is 4,000 from the current price? It's probably 20% or less. Way less. It's like 13%. So gold moved 8% in like 2 weeks. It only has to go 13% to make it to 4,000. I mean, do the math on that. Now, before gold did that 8%, it also went, nowhere going back to April. So there's a long consolidation, but the long consolidations tend to end in breakouts. And so if we're going to look at what gold might do, I'd have to look probably at this impulse up. And I've done this already, but I have targets at 3730 and then probably 4,000. And at the current trajectory, if I were just simply to do like a 1-to-1 sort of move like this, and if the trajectories were the same, you would be looking at December for $4,000 gold. So maybe late November, but that's a very simple trajectory, but why not? And that is excluding any major events that cause gold to go up, like, one country starts bombing another one in the Middle East and such things, right? So back to the euro, we are seeing that move down. So it does look like, if nothing else, on the daily, the euro will go back to the bottom of this range, which is at 115.89 or so. So basically 115.90. That's probably what's going to happen here. And it's just algorithmic. And as price ranges in here, it's coiling up. So anytime you see a long consolidation where price kind of bops around in the same range, the breakout's probably going to be large. So we look back at gold and you can see where price bopped around in this range, more or less, since April. And then you had an 8% move, right? So good chance. And really the range, this is a pretty fair range, more or less. Either way, major move when it comes out, right? So it kind of gets, it shakes off the buyers and the sellers. This was an accumulation. So the people who wanted to take profit at 3,500, they all took profit. And then the people who wanted to buy, they all bought in here as well. And now price is going to go up now that everybody is done selling. The same will happen to the euro. But the question is that as it bounces around in this range that has gone back to August the 6th, is it going to be people who are done buying or people who are done selling? And that's going to tell us whether or not this is effectively an accumulation or a distribution. And what that means is that when price headed up right here, are more people buying than selling in this area? And is it the sellers that run out first and then price just goes up? Or is it the opposite, where more people are selling and then the buyers run out and price heads down after that? And that remains to be seen. Brief look at Bitcoin. We have a few minutes yet left. I don't see any requests in the chat. So to look at Bitcoin, it is right now just kind of consolidating. We're looking on the daily right now. We have, it looks like we could just do kind of a quick structural revamp, just a review of what's happened over the year, right? So the way I would look at this is going to be price after this big pullback from 2024, right? And starting in April, we had a move up. We had a pullback here. We had a move up that eventually made its way all the way up to here. And what that did was that created some local structure. And that local structure is where price has gone, because it tends to want to go there once it's done moving up, comes back down to grab liquidity. So to measure this local move up right here, and really I would take a look at it like this, I would use a couple of things. We'll go ahead and map it out with the Fibonacci. And this is on the weekly chart, everybody. This is pretty high time frame stuff. And it just hit the 618. Now, Bitcoin does like the 786, which is down at 103. And I've been calling for a possible move to 103. It may not happen. We'll see about it. I have to look at the algos. It's quite possible that it could go down to 103 or not. We're going to have to see. But let's take a look. Let's get some more data. Let's take a look at where most of the volume is on Bitcoin, because that's where price is going to want to go, is where most of the recent volume is. and that's going to be down where it is right now, or at least where it bottomed out around 108. There's not a ton of volume locally just from this one move up below 108, but if we include all the volume in this consolidation that occurred, then we actually have more data to look at. Then you see that there's actually a pretty significant amount of liquidity should price want to go there. And that's down with the middle of that liquidity at 105, 104.5, and the bottom of it down at 103, right? So price does have liquidity to grab at 103 based on this prior consolidation in this area. It may or may not want to go there. Let me take a brief look at the algos, and that way I can just give an idea of what I think will happen with that based on the algos. There's a decent chance right now, and we'll look in the daily. There's a decent chance the price will re-enter this range. It looks like it's almost ready to do it. So if I were to say most likely what I think will happen right now, and this would be like for the next week or so, is that price may kind of hang out here, but slowly stair step down and then come down to 103 or even 98. A 98 would be kind of a panic sell, and Bitcoin loves to shake out the weak hands. So we might see a move to 98. Now, my must bounce has been at 98, and 98 would be a really great price to scare out a lot of people. If price does go significantly below 98 and it stays down there, then I will be concerned that perhaps the bull market is over. Perhaps it's not a guaranteed. We do have what I like to call algorithmic support on the higher time frame, meaning that price, has reasons to bounce around that area. But that said, this does look like it's going to happen, but it doesn't mean it will. Remember, we have in what is today the 4th. So in less than 2 weeks, we have a new FOMC coming out. And if we see a surprise rate cut, then there's a really good chance that price for everything except for maybe gold will go up, gold and maybe oil or something. So even though we might see this over the next week or two, if we get like a 50 basis point cut or something, or even higher, just some random surprise cut, this could totally throw all the algos off, and price does other stuff. So that's the look right now, though, as the algos speak, and at least a 25 basis point cut is priced in. I do expect Bitcoin to possibly go down. I'd say to 103. I don't know that we're going to see all the way down to 98. And Bitcoin does like the 786, as one of my traders has tested and figured out. Bitcoin likes the 786, which is right at 103.2. There's a decent chance we see a move down this low. I would put it right here. It could go down there to scare people out. It could come down here, or it could be the bull market is over. But I'm going to say the most likely scenario for now is a move to 103. And then if that happens, and if price doesn't end up recovering and all the other stuff, then I'll take a look at what the market is doing at that time and try to make a determination as to what's going to happen next. So I hope you guys liked the show. Go ahead and watch it. We covered, if you're just kind of popping in right now, we covered the euro very briefly, covered the data that came out today. We covered gold pretty substantially, in Bitcoin. And we're going to move into the private live lab, which is where our clients they ask questions if they want to see what my algo says about something, like, hey, show me what your algo is saying about, what's going to happen to gold or something, or what's going to happen to Solana or what have you. That's where I share that. And if you want access to that, the easiest way to get into our system is go get the free algo. There's a video where I actually build an algo. It's a simple algo, but it's an effective algo. And if you know what you're doing, you can even make it profitable if you optimize it properly and maybe even do some tweaks. Long story short, we will also send you our weekly update. We'll put you on a list to let you know when we're going to do our workshop that I've been talking about for months. Now that September is here and the summer is over and the volatility is coming back, it'll be a good time to do that. And that's just what it is. So algofactory.tech, learn how to trade like a hedge fund pro. That's what we teach people how to do. We teach people how to predict where price is going to go. And when you can predict where price is going to go, whether that is up or down, you have the capability to extract money from these markets. And that's what this is all about. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side. And never forget,
join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you. See you on Tuesday. And also, if you're on the list, if you're in that email list, pay attention on Monday. We'll give our weekly market report then.